and a particularly cowardly act of terror. This action was intended to break our spirit. But we also know New Yorkers are strong, New Yorkers are resilient.
Oh, he makes me sick. Those are strong words, but always after the fact. Then they tell us, as always, to keep an eye out.
8.5 million New Yorkers, several million other tourists. That's a lot of eyes and ears in our city. If you see something, say something.
There it is. See something, say something. But if we actually say something, what then? You'll likely be called a bigot. True, we have 8 million sets of eyes, but what good are they if we can't use our 8 million mouths? Since 9/11, we've learned if you make a peep, you're profiling, and that's racist. It's why no one spoke up about the Fort Hood shooter, a known Islamist, or that San Bernardino creep and his wife. This latest loser was interviewed by the feds 2 years ago. His neighbors saw him doing some weird stuff, but nothing was done, maybe because doing something could ruin you. They say don't be afraid to report suspicious behavior. But today, for a media who conflates terror with religion, reporting suspicious behavior is suspicious behavior. So forgive me if strong words bore me. We're handicapped in this fight because the media dictates the rules, which are this. You talk about vetting, you're Islamophobic. If you say you don't want terrorists here, they hear you don't want Muslims. So who's equating terrorists with Islam? It's the media. We talk about who politicizes tragedy most, but the quickest draw in that game are those who scream backlash, as if hypothetical revenge takes priority over actual corpses. The media does it, our leaders do it too. But Trump doesn't. Maybe because he's most like us. He reflects the common sense response to the now. Most leaders speak of terror after it strikes because it's safer then. No, your beliefs on terror matter before, not after. But we are scared. We are fearful of being labeled a bigot. Islamophobia, phobia. It allows radical Islam to be treated differently than other threats. You play down climate change or drug abuse or guns, the media says you're in denial. But if you see radical Islam as a threat, well, you're insane. We talk about how horrible these truck attacks are, but I hate to be a downer. 10 years from now, this might be the good old days. Once we marry terror to technology, forget it. These truck attacks are minor. Worry about what's next. I call it terror change, the upgrades and mayhem based on trial and error. I wish our media cared as much about terror change as climate change. Would vetting help? Well, terror struck on Halloween, a night where extreme vetting takes place all over America. Parents take that pillowcase full of candy, they pour it out, and they inspect it. That's extreme vetting. Good parents vet, so should good governments. All right, let's welcome tonight's guest. He's the mind behind the comic with a mind that is cosmic. His book, Win Bigly, just came out this week. It's a smash! Creator of the Dilbert comic strip, Scottadams. There she is. She's like a holiday punch, a little bit sweet, and the rest is vodka. Los Angeles reporter Lauren Sivan. She's as grim as my basement gym. National Review reporter Kat Timpf. And the fire department calls him when they're stuck in a tree. Former bodyguard, my massive sidekick, Tyrus. All right. Scott, you're the expert of all things Trump. Trump tweets after this terror attack. It seems like the media gets more upset about that than the attack. But what is it wrong for him to speak his mind?
Well, this might be the first example of execution by tweet.
Really?
You know, I think he might actually kill him by making the trial so unfair that he's released in New York City. He lasts 5 minutes on the street. So,
that's brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, he has 2 ways to win and no ways to lose. He's either going to get convicted or released. Neither of those are good for him.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So the tweet contaminates the jury pool. The guy gets out and then he's murdered.
Ideally.
I think that is ideal. Lauren, was it bad to tweet? I always get the impression that he's doing exactly what you would do after a martini. Or at 4.
I put a breathalyzer on my Twitter, and that actually nailed the problem. No more.
Yeah.
Is it bad to tweet? No. I mean, look, I am not a fan of the president constantly tweeting every thought that enters his brain. But in this case, I do agree with him. You know, at least we're calling it terror right out of the gate. I think that is some progress. I mean, I remember not too long ago, the headline would have been like, Florida man gets in fender bender. You know, they were so careful not to ever.
Yes.
So we are making some kind of progress, I guess. But yeah, we got to go a little further.
Yeah, he came to Halloween as a terrorist. That was his costume.
Right.
What do you make about the diversity lotto? Do you think Trump wants to stop that? Is that bad, or is that opportunistic or political?
Yeah, no, stop that. This guy let 23 people into the country. He's been here for 7 years. I can't even get approved for my TSA pre-check.
Yeah.
What is going on? How many 23 people came into the country for this?
That is amazing, Kat. You don't even know 23 people.
Not personally.
Not personally. Twitter people don't count.
Online.
Yeah.
Yeah. You wouldn't use this when you were dating a diversity lotto. Why would you do it? That is a great metaphor.
You're in so much trouble.
No, what I'm saying, how am I in trouble?
You just said you wouldn't use diversity lotto. I'm putting my chair up. We about to have, man.
No, what I'm saying is diversity untethered to merit is dangerous because you don't know what you're getting. And you wouldn't do that when dating, even when you go on Match.com or whatever these young people do.
You can never know what you're getting, though.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Well, you know, he was radicalized here.
True.
So we do need to look into that problem and that issue. As far as the tweets go, I totally understand the argument of him not being able to have a fair trial. But I think that was probably going to happen before Trump's tweets.
Yes.
I think that it happened when he killed a bunch of people and then asked for an ISIS flag in his hospital room. Most people were kind of like, I don't really like this dude.
You know what's funny, though? They do sell those flags in the hospital gift shop.
Yeah, it's not like the jury's still out on ISIS or not. Like,
Yes.
we've decided that they suck. That's what we think. A jury of your peers is going to say, if you're into ISIS flags, you suck.
Yes. Tyrus, do you think people are afraid? Like, my point of my monologue is to see something, say something is easy to say, but impossible to follow through on. I've been there when I think I've seen something and I go, but if I say something, I'll be seen as the bad guy.
Right.
Like when I see you, Tyrus, I'm going, but I never say anything. I never say anything.
Did you guys say when I walked in? You know what? It's a lot of it has to do with our culture. When I was growing up, it was snitches get stitches.
Yeah.
And there was this thing where like people don't talk and they keep to themselves, mind your own business. But now with the way things are now, we need to come up. This is the one thing that President Trump does great. He says exactly hey, would President Barack Obama say get the death penalty? No, he would not say that because he knows there'd be backlash.
Yeah.
Donald Trump said exactly what everyone was thinking. And I'm sorry, but your ass not getting a fair trial. You're just not.
Yes.
You used the truck to try to commit mass homicide. Sorry, bruh.
Yeah.
You're not getting a fair trial.
Yeah.
Those people didn't get a fair trial. They didn't get a fair chance.
That's
So,
somebody-
sorry. And the argument to say that, the president was wrong for saying that, he wasn't wrong. And we've become such a, it's not okay to tell. And I go through the same thing. When my kids tell on people, I start telling on people. Because if you do, maybe, just maybe, you might be a bigot for a day, but you might end up being a hero.
Yeah, but the thing is, no one will know if you're a hero if you prevent anything. I probably prevented 1 million terror attacks. Yeah. I have no idea. Scott, what should we do with this guy if we don't kill him? Is he some kind of valuable information or a persuasive device we can use?
We don't often get to capture one alive.
Right, yes.
So I say we experiment with our persuasion, deprogramming, as long as it takes.
Yeah, as long as it takes.
He's not going anywhere.
Yes,
we got time.
Exactly. We could have a lottery where people can actually get to test him on various things.
Or just put him in Gen Pop.
Yeah.
Put him in
Is that a club?
Peers. It could be. It could be.
Gen Pop.
Yeah, sorry. General population in prison.
Yes. Our audience isn't as street savvy as
I guess that.
Tyrus. Yeah, put him in Gen Pop. I'm like, what is that?
You
I
thought
don't
it was
know.
like an expensive.
I thought it was like one of those
liquor or
bouncy
something.
castles.
Yeah. No, it's not.
All right, we got to move on. So much coming up. It's going to blow your mind. Did Hillary Clinton stack the deck against Bernie Sanders? Who needs Russian collusion when you can corrupt your own party?
Make an entrance with Joseph A.